Good morning, everybody. Martina here. It's Monday again. It's time for cooking. I made a really nice loaf yesterday. You know what? Every week I say I made a super nice, this and that. But it really is. I wouldn't share things with you I don't like. So I promised you last week that I am making a potato black bean loaf. But you know what? I don't know what to call it really, because in the end it tasted like stuffing. If you like stuffing, this is the thing for you. I made 3 loaves, as you can see in the video, and 2 are already gone. They're totally eaten, and 1 I had to freeze and put away because I thought I will need it for Christmas. But you know what? It will not last that long. It will be out and be eaten before Christmas. So yeah, if you like stuffing, that is the thing for you. So it is a little bit time consuming, but it's really worth it. And the ingredients are pretty easy and simple. You will not have any troubles to get all the stuff what you need. I made 3 loaves. I doubled up the recipe. All the ingredients I give you is for one. So for 1 bowl, 1 loaf, and that will be the largest bread pan I had. I think it is a 1.5 liter size, and the 2 pink pans were a little bit smaller. If you make 1 batch, it will totally fill the glass bowl. It will be a nice amount on it. It will be a nice big loaf. So I always like to do triple the recipes and stuff because I freeze a lot and batch cooking, so I don't stay in the kitchen every day. Well, I do stay in the kitchen every day, but yeah, so I'm gonna start this video. I hope you have a pen and paper just in case to make some notes on the side. And I hope you have your tea. I have mine. It's early in the morning. I'm all by myself in the house. It's just nice and quiet. I don't know if you can see it. It's all snowy outside. I'm glad I don't have to be on the highway today. All right, let's just get going here. I'm gonna start my video. So what I do, let's start from the beginning. That would be helpful, right? So I have in my big bowl, that is for 1 loaf, I add 3 slices of toasted bread. You can use any bread you like. Bread pieces, you cut them up, not too thick, and 3 slices. So that is that. Black beans, 1 can. I'm not sure what the weight is on 1 can. This is about 400 grams in 1 bowl. If it's a little bit less, no big deal. If it's a little bit more, no big deal. But around 400 grams, drained and rinsed. Onions, a 1/4 cup of chopped onions. Use any onions you have in the house. Red, white, sweet, whatever, doesn't matter. Give it a little mix. You know, early in the morning when I do my videos, I haven't had breakfast yet. I mostly eat very late. I start around 11 or so, and I'm always hungry when I see my videos. So here I have dried apricots. This is totally up to you if you want it. I wanted to have it a little bit more taste like stuffing, so I added something sweet to it. And I had the dried apricots. Then I add 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts. Use any nuts you have, almonds, walnuts, pecans, whatever you have. If you don't have any, leave it out. No big deal again. Cooked potatoes, 3 large potatoes, cooked not too soft and not hard. I don't want them to fall apart, but I don't want them to be still hard. I'm not sure if that makes sense to you. Cut into smaller pieces and add to it. Give it a good mix and squish it together. I don't know if you could use a potato masher, but I just use my hands. In case you always wonder when I use my hands, I wash my hands all the time. I cook for a living, and normally when I do my meals for people, of course, I don't put my hands in the food. I make distinctions what I do when. So this is my food, I put my hands in. 2 cups of water or broth. If you have broth and it is salted broth, don't put any more salt in it. It might be too much. This is just water this time. Mushroom powder, Italian herbs, any mix you like, and some garlic powder. The mushroom powder is basically just dried mushrooms put into the blender. Tamari, you can use soy sauce or Bragg's, and some pepper. You can add pepper to your taste. This was water, so I also add salt to it. Again, for your liking, if you like a lot of salt, you add a little bit more. This is just 1 teaspoon. It sounds like a lot, but it wasn't a lot. And 1/4 cup nutritional yeast. Give it a good mix. It will be, it feels quite thin, but when you add the flour, it will get really thick and nice. So this is 2 cups of vital wheat gluten flour. I started with 1 cup first, then I added the rest later, and you just give it a good mix. You can adjust if you feel it's still too runny, too mushy or whatever, you add a little bit more. If your beans, it depends how dry your beans are, how dry your ingredients are. So I decided to add all of the 2 cups to it. And I think in a big bowl I added a couple tablespoons later. And then you all give it a good mix. You will feel the texture of it, and then it feels like a little bit different than a dough, but you know it will not fall apart. It's kind of stringy and it feels really good. So you feel safe on using it. It won't take long to mix up. Then I had my pans ready. So this is the pink ones are a little bit smaller. If I have only one batch, one loaf in that big bowl, I would use the glass pan. It's a 1.5 liter pan, but I knew I would, those 2 double batch, I would split it into 3 parts. So I just started with the smaller pink pan, and I had 2 of those. So you fill it all up, you press it really good down to get all the air pockets out. And it shouldn't be sticky in your hands either. It's a little bit messy, right? I told you about the mushroom powder. It's just dried mushrooms crushed up in a Vitamix. And you can use Tamari or Bragg's. I have a few notes here. If you use salted broth, don't use any more salt, or be careful with that. Yeah, so I get all my 3 loaves ready here. The oven is preheated for 180 degrees or 360 Fahrenheit. And the parchment paper I made wet first, so then you can put it really nicely in the pan, and it's not so stiff and it's hard to put in everything. Then I wrap it up with tin foil tightly. There you go. And then it goes into the oven for 30 minutes. I put all 3 on one cookie sheet. This is the second time I made it. The first time I made it without the nuts and without the fruit. And again, I was so happy with the result. Again, if you like stuffing, this is the thing for you to make. Yeah, 30 minutes for 360. So just imagine this with mashed potatoes, a really nice gravy, which I showed you last week, a really nice easy gravy, some green peas or any vegetables, maybe carrots, and this loaf, some cranberry sauce on the side. I didn't have cranberry sauce, I used some jam. And yeah, that was awesome. Okay, then I took the foil off and bake it a second time for 30 minutes. Then this is now out after the second time, and I get it ready for the third time. What I did, I take it out from the loaf, put it in a fresh parchment paper, and then wrap it in the tin foil. Can you see the color, how nice it is already? When you wrap it up tightly in the foil and parchment paper, it helps with not getting dried out. So that's for the third time for 30 minutes. The nice thing is when you line your baking sheets and baking pans with parchment paper, it's so easy to clean, right? So this is now going in for the fourth and last time. So I just give it a switch around, turn it around. There you go. So another 30 minutes, altogether 2 hours of baking time. Now it's the moment of truth. Have you a loaf recipe instead of a meatloaf? What I really would like to hear if you have a special recipe for that. I think we need to share recipes, guys. We can only convince meat-eating people not to eat meat if we have a great recipe and an awesome dish. Oh my God, this looks so good. My husband loved it too. He was around right away and he couldn't wait to eat it. Yeah. I'm always so excited when I try out new recipes and I found something really amazing and I know I'm gonna make this over and over and over. Oh yeah. All right, so that's pretty much it. Please make me a comment underneath. Give me your thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Let me know if you have any question. I will answer your questions. And I'm not quite sure what I show you next Monday. I have a few options. So I hope you have a wonderful week. Don't work too hard. Be careful if you're out there on the road in the snow. And I'm gonna see you soon again. And until then, cheers.